Imagine a world shrouded in the mists of antiquity, where the earth pulsed with an untamed vitality, its atmosphere thick with humidity and the echoes of a cataclysmic past. In this sweltering cradle of life, emerging from the ashes of the dinosaur age, slithered Titanoboa, the undisputed monarch of serpents, a creature whose sheer magnitude challenges the boundaries of imagination. This colossal reptile, uncoiling to lengths exceeding 40 feet and tipping the scales at more than a ton, dwarfed any snake alive today, its body a formidable tapestry of rippling muscles encased in iridescent scales that gleamed under the perpetual tropical sun. Discovered through painstaking excavations in the coal mines of Colombia, its fossils reveal vertebrae as large as dinner plates, hinting at a form capable of exerting crushing forces that could splinter bones and subdue the mightiest foes. Titanoboa was not merely a predator but a symbol of evolutionary triumph, filling the void left by extinct giants, its presence a haunting reminder of a time when reptiles reigned supreme in the warm, watery expanses of prehistoric South America, where every ripple in the river concealed the potential for sudden, overwhelming power. Venturing deeper into the lush, labyrinthine wetlands of the Paleocene, one can envision Titanoboa gliding through the opaque waters with an elegance belying its immense bulk, its senses finely honed to detect the subtlest disturbances in its aquatic domain. Ambush was its art form, lying in wait amid tangled roots and submerged foliage, then exploding forth in a blur of motion to ensnare prey such as massive turtles, primitive crocodilians, or even early mammalian wanderers that strayed into its territory. Its jaws, unhinging like a gateway to oblivion, allowed it to swallow victims whole, guided by backward curving teeth that latched on with unyielding tenacity, preventing any desperate thrash from leading to freedom. Post-feast, the serpent would retreat to sun-dappled clearings, basking to accelerate the laborious digestion that could span days or weeks, its metabolism a finely tuned engine powered by the ambient heat. Though primarily solitary, these titans may have converged in ephemeral gatherings during breeding periods, their colossal forms entwining in elaborate dances beneath the canopy, perpetuating their species amid the symphony of buzzing insects, croaking amphibians, and the distant roars of emerging beasts, a life cycle woven into the very fabric of this verdant, volatile ecosystem. The ascendancy of Titanoboa was no accident, but a symphony orchestrated by the planet's fervent climate, a greenhouse epoch where global temperatures averaged a scorching 10 to 15 degrees higher than our modern era, fostering an environment where ectothermic behemoths could flourish without restraint. This pervasive warmth permeated every layer of the biosphere, quickening biochemical processes and permitting sizes unattainable in cooler climes, while relentless monsoons sculpted landscapes into endless mosaics of rivers, lakes, and marshes brimming with life. Food chains overflowed with abundant schools of fish darting through crystal streams, herds of herbivorous proto-mammals foraging on luxuriant ferns and cycads, all serving as sustenance for these serpentine overlords whose territories spanned miles of interconnected waterways. Adaptations honed over eons such as acute hydrodynamic shapes for swift propulsion and specialized skin that maximized heat absorption elevated Titanoboa above its rivals, enabling it to dominate niches where lesser reptiles faltered. In the wake of the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction, with avian and mammalian competitors still nascent, this serpent embodied nature's resilient resurgence, its proliferation a vivid illustration of how environmental opulence could birth legends from the loam, turning vulnerability into unassailable strength. As the wheel of geological time inexorably turned, however, the Earth's climatic embrace began to loosen, introducing harbingers of change that would test the limits of even this indomitable species. Subtle at first, the cooling trend gathered momentum through tectonic upheavals that rearranged continents, birthing mountain ranges which disrupted wind patterns and precipitated a gradual desiccation of once eternal rains. Polar regions, once temperate, succumbed to encroaching ice sheets that sequestered vast volumes of water, recalibrating oceanic flows and ushering in eras of pronounced seasonality across the globe. For Titanoboa, whose existence hinged on stable, sultry conditions to maintain bodily functions and vast aquatic realms for foraging, these alterations eroded the foundations of its empire, fragmenting habitats into shrinking oases amid expanding savannas and forests. Compounding factors, including residual volcanic outgassing and the lingering atmospheric veil from ancient impacts, amplified the chill, fostering a world where survival demanded unprecedented flexibility. Fossils entombed in sedimentary layers chronicle this twilight, capturing the poignant decline of a giant as the planet's fever broke, leaving behind echoes of a warmer dominion now consigned to the annals of stone. Yet, let us ponder the tantalizing what-if pathways through which Titanoboa might have defied the inexorable march toward oblivion, persisting in shadowed sanctuaries or through ingenious evolutionary detours. Concealed in the heart of equatorial strongholds, where geothermal vents or dense jungle canopies preserved pockets of primal heat, remnant populations could have endured, honing behaviors like communal huddling to share warmth or delving into subterranean burrows during cooler spells. Dispersal along shifting river networks might have carried survivors to new frontiers, perhaps colonizing volcanic archipelagos or highland lakes that echoed their ancestral havens, adapting to fluctuating water levels with enhanced lung capacities for prolonged submersion. Genetic drifts in isolated groups could spark innovations, such as the development of mild venom to supplement constriction or mottled patterns for superior concealment in variegated terrains. Through these speculative threads, Titanoboa transforms from a relic of extinction to a phantom of perseverance, its lineage threading through the epochs like a hidden current, whispering of resilience in the face of cosmic indifference, a narrative where the serpent's coil unwinds not into silence but into subtle, enduring legacy. From such hypothetical holdouts, the forge of evolution could have refashioned Titanoboa's heirs into myriad guises, each calibrated to the demands of an ever-mutating world. Millennia of selective pressures might sculpt more compact frames, reducing lengths to 30 feet while amplifying burst speed for pursuits in cluttered woodlands, giving rise to arboreal variants that scale ancient trees with prehensile tails inherited from distant kin. In marginally cooler zones, novel traits like insulating subdermal layers or proto-warm-blooded metabolisms could emerge, drawing parallels to contemporary boas but amplified to mythic proportions, allowing nocturnal forays or hibernation through lean seasons. Hybridization with sympotric constrictors might infuse fresh vitality, yielding offspring with augmented olfactory senses for tracking elusive prey in dim understories or bioluminescent markings for mating displays under starlit skies. These modern incarnations would stand as living palimpsests, their genomes etched with the grandeur of Paleocene origins, diversified into riverine ambushes that patrol flooded plains, fossorial specialists burrowing through loamy soils, or even nomadic wanderers traversing seasonal floodplains, each form a testament to adaptation's alchemy, bridging the chasm between archaic terror and contemporary cunning. Should these serpentine specters or their evolved descendants intersect with humanity's expanding footprint, interactions would weave a tapestry of wonder, trepidation, and mutual adaptation across untamed frontiers. In the depths of Amazonian basins or Congolese rainforests, local tribes might enshrine them as ancestral deities, crafting lore of colossal guardians that embody the river's wrath and benevolence, rituals performed to honor their elusive passages. Adventurers and scientists alike would chronicle fleeting glimpses via drone surveillance or thermal imaging, igniting global discourse on ethical wildlife management, where awe tempers the impulse for exploitation. Inevitable frictions could surface near human settlements, as these giants occasionally raid poultry coops or fisheries, inspiring innovative deterrents like electrified barriers or pheromone lures that guide them back to wilderness sanctums. Biomedical research might flourish from non-invasive studies, unlocking secrets of rapid tissue repair or anticoagulant compounds derived from their saliva, forging alliances where human ingenuity aids conservation efforts. Nevertheless, the allure of illicit trade, coveted scales for luxury goods or organs for dubious remedies would demand vigilant international safeguards, transforming each encounter into a crucible for planetary stewardship, where the serpent's gaze reflects our own capacity for harmony or hubris. Gazing further into the mists of prospective tomorrows, one might envision futures where Titanoboa's bloodline navigates the turbulence of anthropogenic climate resurgence, blooming once more as rising temperatures resurrect echoes of Paleocene paradises in broadening equatorial belts. Human intervention via CRISPR wizardry could resurrect purer strains from amber-preserved DNA, populating vast biodomes as interactive exhibits that educate generations on deep times lessons, or deploying them as keystone species to restore degraded wetlands. In shadowed dystopias, lab escapes might unleash these revived titans into megapolises submerged by sea level rise, compelling architectural revolutions with serpent-proof infrastructures amid urban jungles. Optimistic vistas could see domesticated lineages trained for benevolent roles, their acute senses aiding in avalanche rescues or detecting seismic precursors in quake-prone realms, or serving as organic regulators in expansive agro-ecosystems to curb invasive pests. As humanity ventures starward, bio-adapted variants might accompany pioneers to extraterrestrial outposts, their hardy physiologies terraforming hostile worlds with engineered resilience against radiation and vacuum. In these myriad possibilities, the saga of Titanoboa endures as an eternal motif, a serpentine thread stitching past, present, and potential, illuminating the boundless creativity of life against the vast, unpredictable canvas of existence.